Approaching Alameda and Buena Vista.
This is the Inspirado Projecto podcast you're listening to, of course. I'm currently on my way up to another Yachtley Crew Show. Tonight's show is at The Rose in Pasadena. And if all goes well, this episode will come out after the part 1 podcast with my extraordinary conversations with Doug and Roxanne at the David Lynch book signing. There's when you ride a bus, and I do not condone violence, I don't. However, this funny idea came into my mind. Someone had left their trash on the bus. And on top of that, it's a like a frappuccino, like a plastic frappuccino. Oh, I know, Jamba Juice. There it is. It's empty, so that means someone brought it on the bus. You're not supposed to eat or drink when you're on the bus. And this idea popped into my mind. What if each time? I think we would cut down on a lot of crime, littering, being mean to people. I think we would cut down on that a lot if each time we, let's say, for instance, being on the bus, you're not supposed to take the drinks on the bus, you're not supposed to eat, get it all over. And I've seen this countless times. It's just that lack of respect for your environment and everyone else that you're sharing it with. I mean, I see buses and subways tagged all the time with some scribble on it. And I thought, wouldn't that be interesting if each time you break a law like that, or you do something that's just against the idea of community, against the idea of collaboration, someone just runs out of nowhere and punches you in the head. Again, I do not condone violence. I do not condone violence whatsoever. I've gotten into a lot of arguments with people concerning boxing, for instance. Even the UFC fighting. I mean, any of the fighting stuff. It's just not. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea. Other people might like getting punched in the head. Which brings us back to this. So imagine if each time something like that happens, someone just runs up, bam, punches you in the head. I can tell you right now, you definitely think twice about doing that thing again. Because it's an instant consequence. Instant. So, having said that, I'm on my way to the Yachtley Crew Show, and I gotta tell you, I cannot get the Westworld theme out of my head, just like when I saw season 1 of Westworld. I could not get that soundtrack out of my head. I was constantly humming it to myself, whistling it to myself, thinking about all of the intricacies and all that stuff. And even before I found websites where I could see it, I signed up. I signed up by email for the Delos, Delos. That's the name of the company that makes the Westworld stuff within the TV show. For those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. So Delos actually has a website, and you can go on there. And in the beginning, back in season 1, You could go in there, oh, hello, welcome. Would you like to make a reservation for Westworld? And you could put down how many days and whether you wanted to be a black hat or a white hat, how many people were going to be there, how long you were going to stay there. It was fun. And then it was funny, you'd go to a page which would then be like a glitch, and then you were able to see into the forums. You see into the forums that the employees were in and talking on and stuff. It was really, really cool. It was a lot of fun. I love that kind of stuff. ARGs, I love them. Alternate reality games. They're just. I got first caught up in this kind of stuff with Cloverfield. Back then, I didn't even know the proper terminology of that. So Cloverfield. Look up if you liked the movie Cloverfield. Check out Tagruato. Check out Slusho. There were just a lot of things that helped expand that world. Even the main characters had MySpace pages back in the day. So alternate reality games, what it does is it immerses you more into the game. They did that with the new Tron that came out. They had a website called Flynn Lives, and you could band together with other people out there and solve clues and all this crazy stuff. I don't think I've met anyone yet that I know of who did that experience. That is something I'd like to do. Talk with those folks about what that must have been like, and I'm sure a lot of them are still friends with the people that they solved these puzzles with and everything. Because when you go through something like that, you're comrades, When you experience something like that, you've been through this thing. So this kind of thing happens out there, and with Westworld, there's a Delos site, and through that, I would sign up for emails, and so I'd get these periodic emails, and then when season 2 came out, you'd go to the website, and you could definitely tell it was hacked, it was glitched, and there was something funky about it. And one of the emails I got was about training. If you wanted to apply for a job, you went through this little personality test, and then you go through a personality test, and then they decided I was an architect. One of the guys who makes the Android, made the hosts, making the hosts and stuff. And so eventually I got an email about a video game. It's an app you can download. If you go right now into the App Store, look for Westworld, and I gotta tell you, I downloaded it 3 days ago, and I gotta say, I'm kind of addicted to it at this point. It really teaches you. The cool thing about this, which I love, is that it is subliminally teaching you about cooperation. It's subliminally teaching you about chemistry between people. It's subliminally teaching you about foresight and consequences and the ways that dominoes can fall. And it's really intriguing. It's really intriguing. You can match up people's what they call cornerstones. So if a host has a cornerstone of, let's say, they always like painting, and you meet a guest who has a similar cornerstone, it'll show you like bling, like a connection. And when you got those, you know, you just have better interactions with these things. So it's crazy. It teaches you about multitasking. It teaches you about like it's like cooking in a kitchen, so to speak. You got all this stuff going on, and you can build other areas. It starts with just the place where the guests get off the train, that first place, right where the saloon is. And so you could build up the saloon. You can build up a little sheriff's thing. You can sheriff station. You can build up a general store. So you can build hosts that, gambling, if in the saloon, like in the saloon, they can, like, there are people who are looking for love. There are hosts that can be built that
Approaching Sanchez and Brand
are built for love. And so you match those people up. Someone who likes gambling, you match them up with someone who likes gambling. It's a really cool thing. You can test them out. Diagnostic checks. A lot of times they'll glitch.
Safety, watch your step when exiting the bus.
A lot of times these things will glitch, and then you gotta share them. You gotta send them to the repair shop for diagnostic to get looked at. So, sometimes they'll get shot. Like the Man in Black, they'll show up, and it's just such a really cool game. Really cool game. It's really just fires me up for number 10, the last episode 10 of season 2. That'll be coming out, I think, this Sunday. Yeah, that'll be coming out this Sunday, so I cannot wait to see what's going to happen there. They have done so many surprises this season, so many surprises. I got to tell you, holy moly. Surprise after surprise after surprise. You're learning that there are other aspects of the park, which is great, because they left that little cliffhanger at the end of season 1.
Requested. Please use rear exit. For your safety, watch your step when exiting the bus.
There's a part where they walk through Samurai Town or Shogun Town, or actually not the town necessarily, but they go through an area. It goes through this area, and you see the hosts, frozen there, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, is there a Shogun Town? Are they going to visit that in season 2?" Well, I don't want to give anything away, because I want you to see the show yourself. It's very smart writing. It's like the whole show is a masterpiece. From the acting to the writing to the music, that soundtrack is phenomenal. Wow, that soundtrack is phenomenal. So I've been playing that. We finished up, I think, filming Black Pumpkin. I think we're pretty close to finishing that up. Also, if anything, maybe like inserts. And then, tonight is another show with the Yachtley Crew at the Rose in Pasadena. And then the 28th, we got a private gig. It's just incredible. I finally finished. It's about 8 minutes. I try to finish it at 8 minutes 23 seconds. Point 23. So 23 is the number of synchronicity. And of course, if you add 3 to 2, that makes 5. So both 5 and 23 are the number of synchronicity. And since it was 8 minutes, 8 is infinity. Oh man, just amazing. So yeah, the operation tone-up video is 8 minutes 23:23. Ideally, Mr. Tone is gonna like it. I'm sure there will have to be some changes. That's how the ice cube crumbles. That's how the ice cube crumbles. Yachtley Crew is playing at 10 p.m. tonight. The doors open at 9 because there's a private event until 9. So we got to do our sound check. I think we got to be done by 5. I think we got to be done by 5. So yeah, so 3 to 5. Usually we go up there, I think, like 6 p.m. or something. Good news is these days there's this special technology that a lot of sound engineers have out there at some of these clubs. Special technology that actually saves what's called the scene. It saves the scene of the last time you played, so that way you don't have to. It gives you a shortcut when it comes time for sound check, because all of those equalizations, all that razzmatazz is dialed in. It's dialed in. Really, really quite intriguing. Really quite intriguing. So that's the good news. That's the good news. And we're working with people that we've worked with in the past. This is the same place that we used to have our residency at every weekend, every Thursday we were up there. And then they decided not to have us up there anymore because we weren't bringing in the crowds that they expected us to. The way that the Rose is, the way that it's set up, the way that the Rose is set up, is you don't really see it from the street. The Rose is contained within some pizza, kind of a pizza place, I guess. So you don't really see the Rose from the outside. And plus that whole area, everything around that area, around that time on Thursday, it's closed. So there's no foot traffic. People have to seek it out, which makes it awesome. And, you know, because it's like a secret spot. It's not crowded. It's not crowded. But I gotta say, through that time that we had the residency, we were growing the audience. The audience was growing. More and more people were bringing people by. My firm belief is that if we had continued going there every Thursday, to this day, it got up to, and it might not sound like much because the place probably holds 1,000 people or more. But we started with, let's say the first time there was maybe 8 people, and the next time there's 12 people, and the next time there's 18 people, and the next time, you know, just grew 30 people. Eventually it got to about 60 people. I saw the growth. I charted it. I saw it. As John Lennon says, all we are saying is give Yacht Rock a chance. All we are saying is give Yacht Rock a chance. All we are saying is give Yacht Rock a chance. So had they given Yacht Rock a chance, I think then they would have gotten the crowds they're looking for. I stayed up pretty late last night getting the Operation Tone-Up stuff done. It must be like 3 a.m. And I think I woke up at 8. But that's never really stopped me before. You know what? That was earlier today. And as Bashar talks about, he says,
Walnut and fair oak.
he says every single millimoment, you know, faster than you can actually blink, it's a brand new moment. It's a brand new moment. 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 Over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over and over again. So when we continuously harken back to the past and we use it for excuses as to why we're not doing what we're doing. This stops at Raymond and Union, right? Yeah? Oh, cool. Is that coming up still? All right. So it looks like we're on the right track here. So when we constantly harken back to the past, as using that as a reason why we're doing what we're doing now, it means that we're not embracing this very moment and the power that we have, the power that we have to change. Oh, okay. Union is coming up. All right, I need both of my hands here for this stuff. I will, probably, I'll most likely get some behind-the-scenes stuff later on tonight. That's all for now. Take care. Okay, folks. Turns out there's a class reunion here at the Rose tonight. 1973. They got our poster up here on the wall. The Yachtley Crew, right next to Ronnie Spector and the Ronettes. And right there, Nancy Wilson of Heart. Lonely Island was here May 27th. What in the hell? Jefferson Starship was here August 18th. That's Lawrence's birthday. 8/18. 8/18. That's one of the few birthdays I remember. Wow. Holy shnikes, is that Grace Slick up there? My goodness. The Fix. I remember the Fix. I remember my cousin Dan would make me these mixtapes. And the Fix would be on there. Air Supply? August 17th. Ted Nugent? Dennis Quaid? And the Sharks. Johnny Lang. What? August 11th, Buddy Guy? What in the Bullet Boys? Josh, my brother used to listen to the Bullet Boys all the time. What the hell? This is crazy. This is just blowing my mind to play at these same venues that all of that. I don't know, these bands I grew up listening to and or being aware of. It's intriguing to think that I am playing it on these stages. This is a really cool area over here in Pasadena. There's I don't know if that's the City Hall or what. Reminds me of Batman. It reminds me a lot, too, of downtown Wheaton. Downtown Wheaton. We're right across the street from the exhibit hall and ballroom from what what I understand, apparently that is where they had the American Idol things happening. So this thing that looks like the city hall. Oh, there it is. The auditorium of the city of Pasadena. Okay, so yeah, I guess it is this. Maybe, possibly. There's a big old sign out in front that says Possible L.A. Plenty of graffiti on it. There might even be some room on those letters to put Yachtley Crew, scrawl Yachtley Crew on there. I don't have any cards with me. That's the thing. I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back. Going back inside. I'm gonna go get some cards. One thing I did not bring was a jacket. However, I did bring a warm gray shirt. So that could very well act as a nice warm item of clothing. Yeah, so tonight, reunion, 1973 reunion. And it turns out, it's for some Pasadena high school. And it turns out that Sailor Hawkins, the drummer, his next door neighbor apparently was a tour manager for some bands out in the day, and he goes to, so he went to this high school, and Rob found out from him that they had a class reunion. They're going to have it here, and so he asked Rob if Yachtley Crew wanted to play, and of course Rob said yes, and so. Wow, this is so great. Yeah, we got our quote, our step and repeat over here. They just got this thing. This thing must be 10 feet tall now that they got. So we, it's just like, one of those red carpet events, the step and repeat things. I told Rob, how cool would that be? Instead of a red carpet, we get a blue carpet. So we got this thing here for people to take photos in front of as they walk in. This is very cool. There are photos of the folks playing up on the walls. What a cool thing, a reunion. That must be so exciting for these folks to meet each other. Wow, interesting. It just popped into my brain. I just realized that, well, you'll hear it, but I'll give you a sneak peek from the, I like your ears. I like your kitty ears. Doug at the David Lynch event was talking about a class reunion. So of course that doesn't surprise me that here I am now with a class reunion manifested in my life. It's so interesting. This was the main thing that I wanted to say, and I just now realized the point, a point that I wanted to touch upon was. It's funny. It's such an interesting. When a test, such an interesting test, and by test I mean an opportunity that is given to us by our higher minds to really decide whether we walk the talk, whether we will apply the information that we've been reading about, telling others about, etc., etc., etc. Will we apply it? And I've had a few of those over the past few days. Interestingly enough, a lot of our conversation at that David Lynch event was remaining calm in situations where it looked like there was no, seemingly either no solution, and or being in a position where you just kind of had to accept what the circumstances were. And I've been in a couple of those. Not going to go deep into them because okay. Well, one of them was happened last night. And by last night, I mean the 22nd. This is taking place on the 23rd. On the 22nd, I went out to meet Jeff Finn at a restaurant called Talleyrand. I was going to take, the whole idea was I was going to take my book that David Lynch signed, and I was going to show it to him. Say, look, here's his autograph. And so the whole plan was I was going to take that with me, the signed book, and go up to show him. So I was there at the bus stop, apparently on the wrong side of the street. So I was not on the bus, and a different bus came up. Things have been kind of weird lately with the metro stuff. Sometimes the street signs do not match up with what the metro app tells you, or either what it says online. So for some reason, some of these numbers have been switched around. They switched them around, but they really haven't made announcements about it, or changed it, so everybody knows. Or maybe it's just the app just hasn't updated. Either way, there's a little confusion there. Added to the confusion that I have got to start learning what the southwest corner side of the street means. Oh, it's on the southwest corner. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on the southwest corner and it's facing east. And so I need to learn what that terminology means, because it's tricky. So I couldn't find the bus stop. And I was just so chapped about it. From that bus ride, it was only supposed to take, I was supposed to meet him at 7. In the bus ride, it was only supposed to take, I think, 15 minutes or so. And so, it's supposed to just take a very short amount of time. And the bus lady took me to a different place. She goes, "Don't worry, you can hop on the bus from there." So it was just interesting, just an interesting thing. And here's that Pasadena antique mall that I had stopped in during one of these other podcasts. Let's walk in here and see if there's anything new. So that's what happened. I got on the bus, and then the lady took me over to the spot, and then I was there, and I thought, okay, the next bus is not going to show up for another half hour. I'll just call my sister Jenny, see if she wants to come by, and see if she wants to pick me up, if she's able to, and take me up to the place, Talleyrand. There's an elf doll here. I kill me. Also one of those primitive robots, 2XL. Oh my god, that's amazing. Holy cow. It's amazing. Some cool stuff here. So, let's see, hold on, let's see if I can I've never tried this before. I'm going to see if I can take a photo. Let's see if I can take a photo while we're doing this. So I thought, okay, it'll be faster for my sister to pick me up and drive me over there.
But it's a little bit, so you wouldn't know until you brush it.
And while I'm waiting for her, something strikes me. I suddenly realize, oh my god, I think I left my book either at the bus stop or on the bus. And I'm wondering where the heck is that book? And all of a sudden I start freaking out. And I'm like already bothered that I'm late, and I'm already, like these things that I know I shouldn't be worried about. I mean, the process, trust the process. That's the thing. Trust the process. Trust the process. So I'm, just going, oh my gosh, that thing was signed, and it represents so much of that night, this great night that I had with these awesome people I met, and meeting Lynch and all this stuff. And I was just so sad. And at that point, I said, okay, you know what? Either I left it on the bench, so we went back to that bench, it wasn't there. I said, okay, I either left it on the bench, there it is, someone took it, or left it on the train. So then I called up the metro station, and it was closed. So then I just said, okay, you know what? I just have to resolve to just be okay with letting it go. The art of letting it go. I just had to trust that just have to let it go. And same thing today. I felt a little rushed about getting to the train. I think, okay, so part of the lesson is leaving earlier, right? Obviously, leaving earlier. Leaving earlier gets rid of so much stress. Number 2, trusting the process. Letting go. Trusting the process. Don't force it or it'll break. These are all things, oh boy, this is great. Look at that, Picasso and Dali, which I'll get to in a second, because those, Picasso relates to something. So basically, I just gotta trust the process. That's it. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust that whatever's going on is going on. And if there's something that pops up that seems dastardly scary, like for instance, my rent just went up $160 out of nowhere. And they go, oh, by the way, you have 1 month to now suddenly get 160 extra bucks. And it's like, easy for you to say, it's like, I don't automatically start getting paid more when you raise the rent. Wouldn't that be cool? If I go, oh, guys, guess what? Guys, guess what? My rent has gone up, so now I need to get paid more. So, it's quite intriguing. And so I've been sitting here going, oh my gosh, how's this rent going to get paid? And it's so crazy. I've been in so many positions where something like this has happened. Where it's happened where I'm like, it's right on the edge, and you're gone. Is this the month that I end up homeless? Is this the month that... So, that it all... that they come in and kick me out. And so, the funny thing is, I've had so many examples in the past where it's worked out just fine. Everything. I kept telling myself, okay, I just gotta trust this. Well, now, turns out, we're doing this gig on the 28th. That's gonna be paying us more than we usually get. And on top of that, I was just sent some more wedding video files to edit in the mail. So always trust the process. Trust the process. I want to go back over here to this Picasso book. The reason what that is significant by is that I just saw I guess there's a series of shows called Genius on some channel. They had one about Albert Einstein. And I just recently saw a trailer for Picasso. So I'm in here, bam. There it is. Picasso book. Right next to Dali, of course. You know what I'm gonna do? Think of a number. Let's see if I can turn to that number you're thinking of. Think of a number between... Oh, it's encased in a big thing here. Alright, we'll do it for the Dali book. 453. Okay, between 1 and 453, I think, for page. 322 is coming to me. Let's see what's on 322. Oh God, these are extraordinary. I've got a couple of books by Dali. I've got a big. What did I say? 322. Cool. It's a page with. It's a page with writing on it and photos. There's a photo of let's see. Here, it's got a wall. It looks like a Colosseum wall, and it's got a series of paintings on the walls. It's got that famous one that's in that documentary Orson Welles narrates, Soft Self-Portrait, that Dali book, movie, documentary, where it's on the beach and it's like a body, and it's back. The back is to the camera, and it's got like there's a door in front of it out there by the waves, but then there's like a crutch holding it up. A bunch of others here. An ideal vision of the ruin of the theater in Figueras today. The Teatro Museo Dali, the staging done in 1961 by the author following Salvador Dali's directives, and based on a photograph made by his friend Millie, includes the weaning of furniture nutrition, Assumpta corpuscularia lepislazulina, the specter of Vermeer of Delft, which may be used as a table, premonition of civil war, Christ of St. John of the Cross, and the Madonna of Port Legat. On the doorstep, an officer of the king's family, a presumed descendant of Velázquez, and director of the Queen's tapestry establishment, Don Jose Nieto Velázquez, draws a curtain revealing the blinding outdoor light. Oh yeah, he's down there. There's a little man way down there, opening up a door. There's a picture over here of Dali. It looks like he's driving around like sort of a racetrack. He's in the back of fancy convertible, and he's holding up his He's holding up his cane. It says here, arrival of Dali in the bull ring of Figueras, August 12th, 1961, the day of municipal festivities arranged in his honor by his native town. Here's another one down here where he's painting. It's from the side here. He's painting, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here. They're all in suits, 2 guys, a woman, and Dali is painting in a suit. It's just like Lynch. October 15th, 1962, the Battle of Tetuan by Fortuny was shown next to the picture painted by Dali on the same subject of the Palace Tinel in Barcelona. In one of the rooms of the palace, Dali finished the Christ of Valais, which painting was to be sold at an auction for the benefit of the flood victims of the Valley of Valais near Barcelona. The work was bought by Mr. and Mrs. Alboreto of Turin, Italy, and is still in their collection. From left to right, A. Reynolds Morse, Dali's American collector. Oh, A. Reynolds Morse, Dali's American collector. Isidro B., collaborator of the painter. Oh, so this guy, Isidro B., collaborated with Dali. Eleanor Morse. Robert Descharnes and Gonzalo Suraclara, cousin of the artist. They're just sitting there watching him. Incredible. Incredible. If I were ever to describe what I am, it would be artist. Now, this is the other thing. I came across a book as I was talking, as I was walking. Wouldn't you know, The Wild, Wild West. Of course. Of course. The Wild, Wild West. Made... Oh, there's... M.J. Brown, John Burrow High School. Interesting. I wonder if this is a library book. No, it's not. So there's a... Interesting. Whole book about cowboys. Holy shit. Jesse James, Chapter 4? My dad did his DNA. And it turns out that we have DNA with Jesse James. Oh my God. Wow. The other interesting thing is that John Garside recently told me about how when he got to school, when he was a kid, he was so excited. Oh, yeah, and there's a Billy the Kid one. He saw a teacher. It was a history teacher, and he was so excited. He goes, "Oh, are we going to learn about the gunmen, the gunslingers?" She goes, "No, we don't learn about that. We learn about this war and that war and this war." The poor guy, he was so crestfallen. I'm just going to read a little bit here really quick. It's already a half an hour here. I haven't even talked to any Yachtley Crew guys backstage. Any study of Jesse Woodson James, September 5th, 1847 to April 3rd, 1882. Whoa, he was less than 40 when he died. Any study of Jesse Woodson James, the celebrated Missouri ruffian, murderer, bank robber, train robber, and American demigod, is best prefaced by a quick glimpse at his mother, Zerelda E. Cole James Sims Samuel. She was, by all accounts, a notable woman. After attending a Roman Catholic convent school in Lexington, Kentucky, she married... Jesse grew up in an atmosphere of hate. Missouri men rode across the line into Kansas to cast the fraudulent votes they hoped would make Kansas a slave state. I want to see something interesting here. There's a whole bunch of photos in here. Oh, 34. He's 34. Inscription on his grave. In loving remembrance by my beloved son, Jesse James, died April 3rd, 1882. Age 34 years, 6 months, 28 days, murdered by a traitor and coward whose name is not worthy to appear here. I wonder if Jesse himself was ever a traitor. My goodness. I gotta get out of here. I could talk at a podcast for eons. And this one is supposed to come out after the David Lynch podcast. Keep that in mind.
I know this shield.
Whose is it?
It belongs to the High Priest and to his soldiers. The priest who invokes the fire monster. That means they came here to get her and to sacrifice her.
They can't be far from us. We'll reach her in time.
Great gods, don't let me die! Oh, I beg! Please, please help me! Help me! No, don't let me die!
I invoke thee, Antius, Lord of Fire! We offer you the last daughter of the Jester!
You are listening to Inspirado Projecto Radio.
Is a victim!
What you just heard there was a thank you message from the 25/8 because 24/7 isn't enough podcast. I left them a theme song the other day. And also a fun sound collage by Man Behind the Machine. I've realized that we're up to almost an hour now. So I've subjected you to enough, my friends. Please open your minds, open your antennae, and let the process unfold for you. Appreciate the process. Appreciate the process. If you'd like, subscribe to iTunes, to Inspirado Projecto on iTunes. You can do that. On iTunes, you can search in your for music. You could search for movies, and you could search for podcasts. So go ahead and search for Inspirado Projecto if you want, and they'll send you the episodes. Take care. See you next time, if not before.